Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So here I am in the kitchen. Let's talk today about food. Let's talk about our gut. Let's talk about gut health. I'm not going to go too much into the science because I'm not a scientist. You can go and look this shit up, but I've looked it up. I've read a lot about this stuff. And the bacteria, the food, the material in your gut has different chemical reactions depending on the nutrients or lack thereof, depending on what chemicals or what's in it with the rest of your body. So this is the science behind taking medicine, right? This is exactly why people take antidepressants. So you can pop an antidepressant. The minerals and chemicals within that antidepressant release into your, they go into your gut because you swallow it, and they release into your body, and it has a reaction with your brain. Different chemicals have different reactions with your brain. Different nutrients, proteins, carbs, sugars, amino acids, various things, have different reactions in your brain. So for example, high sugar can induce anxiety. If you have a high sugar diet and you're going around with anxiety and anxiety is a problem, reduce your sugar. I mean, this is, you could go into therapy and you can do all these things, right? Get self-help videos and, whatever. But you can start with the physical because it's a proven scientific fact that the stuff that's in our gut can either make us healthy or make us unhealthy. If you eat too much junk food, which is lack of nutrients, there's not a lot of proteins, not a lot of good carbs, incredibly high salt content, incredibly high cholesterol content, high sugar, all the bad stuff, it has high values. The good stuff you want low values, so you're not getting much out of it. If you want a hamburger, you'd be much better off making a good hamburger at home, on your George Foreman grill or something, and you can have a piece of meat with a lot of nutrients in it, put some good bread on there, and all of a sudden you've turned that into a healthy meal instead of an unhealthy meal. So when you eat unhealthy and you fill your gut full of unhealthy, low nutrient food, like junk food mainly is, low nutrients, high in salts and high in bullshit, it's very easy to induce symptoms of anxiety and symptoms of depression. It's very easy to put yourself in a bad mood. Even if you're just walking around just kind of low energy and just don't really have it that day, and you just kind of feel off and you just feel tired and annoyed, and many of us live like this all the time, and we blame it on the little things in our life as if that overwhelms us. We can handle a busy day when we're in a good mood, but when we're not in a good mood, even just 2 or 3 or 4 things can feel annoying. Not getting from stoplight to stoplight quick enough can feel like the end of the world sometimes when we're just not feeling there. And that can have everything to do, that feeling can have everything to do with how we eat and the type of bullshit that we're putting into us as opposed to the healthy stuff. Now, when you eat healthy, this is a proven fact, when you eat healthy, you feel good, you feel happy. If you want to just have the very basic starting point with happiness, with getting over anxiety, getting over depression, being able to live more even-keeled through your day and not have to go through this roller coaster ride, then stop putting yourself on these sugar highs and these junk food binges and eat more healthy. You'll be able to eat a more calorie, the amount of calories that you put in will be more conducive to your lifestyle and to the amount of energy that you're putting out when you eat more healthy. When you eat junk food, you can have way too many calories. I don't eat more than about 2,500 to 3,500. I know that's a big range. It just depends on if I'm going over to someone's house for a big dinner or whatever, but I eat around 2,500 calories. Sometimes it can get pushed over 3,000 calories, but that's a lot. I mean, when I've eaten over 3,000 calories, that's a lot of just big giant plates of food. I like to eat my 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then I have snacks in between. All those meals, I try to eat about 6 meals a day. All those meals, I try my best. I'm not always, perfect at this, but I try my best to eat food that is nutritious. I try to eat food that has protein. I try to eat food that has a certain amount of carbs. I try to get my portions right. I try to eat food that has fiber. So on a plate, you want, your protein and your fiber and your vegetable area to be larger than your carbs. No more big giant plates of pasta. That was one of my comfort foods growing up. I started cooking for myself as a very young boy. I've been cooking food for myself, probably since I was 10 years old. Started making dinner, all that kind of stuff for myself. If you have a kid that's 13, 14 years old and you have to make that little shithead meals, I was doing it on my own since I was 10, and don't feel sorry for me. I mean, I was proud of myself in the kitchen making up stuff, and I would make these big plates of spaghetti, and spaghetti became my go-to comfort food for a long time. And it's cheap. I could always have it in the cabinets, and I would just make up a big pot, enough for an army, and just eat a mountain. And when I was broke, and I grew up in the ghetto, I lived in the ghetto, I lived in low-income neighborhoods all throughout my 20s and 30s, up until my 30s, I would have these big plates of spaghetti and just feel satisfied and be like, well, that's $1.15, $2 at the most I spent on the food, and I'm fuller than full. It's low nutrition. Eating like that is you're just trying to get full, and that was all I was trying to do, was get full. I didn't look at food as nutrition. As, you read the back of the fucking box to do that. Start doing that and start paying attention and start just having a mental idea. You don't have to be some kind of nerd, some kind of weirdo and be writing it down. Some people do that. Bodybuilders do that. That's too much for me. But just have a mental idea. Am I getting enough protein? You can look up this stuff online. You have all the information in the world at your fingertips. So you can look up, how much protein should I get? I can't tell you in this video because it may be different for you. There's a recipe of how active you are, what kind of job you have, lifestyle you lead, what kind of exercise you get, that various factors go into it, your age, all these types of things. And then many sites have these protein calculators, and it'll tell you, you should get 100 and whatever grams of protein. You should get 200. You should get, it'll tell you what's good for you. Keep an eye on that. So when you're eating your meals, your 3 meals a day and your snacks, you know that, okay, I haven't had enough protein today. Maybe I'll have a little bit more protein, a little bit less carbs on this meal. These are all, it sounds like a lot, but your gut health is incredibly important. I've had gastrointestinal problems, just being real gassy and bloated, and that's just a drag to walk around. It affects your mood, makes you go crazy. It's almost like a chronic pain, and people that walk around with chronic pain, you know how it is. You can just be on edge all the time. Life just kind of feels like, man, you don't fuck with me, not today. Today ain't the day. Well, your gut health is really important. The morning is probably the biggest time, especially for people like me who have manual labor jobs, and you really bust a lot of, I get sweaty and dirty in my job. I'm not sitting behind a desk. So I don't just, grab a granola bar as I'm driving to work. I wake up early, and I have a morning program that I promote in most of my videos. And part of my morning program is eating. And I try to eat healthy, and I eat with intent. The very first thing I do when I wake up is I think about protein. Because when we sleep, our muscles, especially if you've had a hard day the day before and you worked hard. I not only work hard, but then I work out in the gym with weights. I exercise. So my muscles need to be replenished. And by the time I go through 8 hours of sleep, I'm bone dry. My body is at a caloric deficit and a nutrient deficit. I need stuff in me. Water, I need to hydrate, fill my muscles and my body full of water. Drink when you wake up. And protein. I get this high protein yogurt. I like it. It's a vanilla yogurt. It's, what is it, Oikos or some shit. It's a Greek yogurt. Has like no sugar in it. Very low calories. And it has like 15 grams of protein. So I can have 2 of these little cups. They're little cups. Bam, bam. Bust them down 2. That's 30 grams of protein right there. That's great for a beginning meal to get me going. Now I exercise in the morning, so then I follow up my exercise with a real breakfast with, eggs, and I'll have potatoes and get some, and I'm eating that meal not just with the intent to fill my gut, to fill my belly. It's not all about how many calories you eat. It's about the nutrition that you get. So this is how I start my day every day. And I also have a banana. I like to get a little bit of fruit. I like to get, a banana is a good way to get you some energy. It's a great morning breakfast to add to it. You can eat oatmeal. Oatmeal is great for your gut. I've gone through phases. Sometimes I get sick of oatmeal, but I go through phases of eating the living fuck out of some oatmeal. I got a cabinet full of oatmeal back there, and it's great for you. It's great for your gut. It's good carbs. So these are ways to start your day. How you start your day is so incredibly important with your gut because it'll make a difference for the rest of your day, both mentally and physically. You can be ready for lunch. I'll typically have a snack around 10ish or 11ish before lunch, a pre-lunch little snack, just a little something, some fruit, some vegetables, some nuts, something good, something with nutrition, some protein. And then when I go to eat lunch, I'll typically have just a real lunch, something calorie intensive. I may get 900 calories in at lunch, and have something decent. Again, I'm not going to go for fried chicken. I'm not going to go, if I'm going to have chicken, I'll have barbecue chicken or baked chicken or smoked chicken or something. But the fried chicken is too much saturated fat, too much oil. The breaded bullshit is too high in cholesterol for a guy like me. So I just tried a healthy option, that kind of thing. You can develop your own eating schedule and your own eating habits that work best for you. And I suggest, because every single person's different, we're all chemically made up different. Every single person is different. So find what works best for you. But think about this with the intent of not just having calories, not just pounding shit. Even when you snack, you're sitting there watching TV and you want to snack on something great, no big deal. But eat something smart. And think about the nutrients that are in that food or lack thereof. Think about what that's going to do to your mentality down the road. You eat a bunch of shit food, you feel like shit. You eat a bunch of healthy food, you feel great. So just keep these kinds of things in mind. It's very important. We forget, we slip. I know how it is. Eating is something that people use as a vice. I've been learning. I'm 49 and I feel like that I should know all this stuff by now. I'm learning all the time about how to eat. You think eating, you learn it when you're a baby. You learn it your whole life, and it's a lifestyle. So give yourself half a chance. I've suffered from depression. I've suffered from anxiety. And the very first step with getting on top of that and a good mentality and a healthy mindset is your gut. So think about your gut health. Have a good day.